Remind us, what are dioxins and how do they affect us?
Well, dioxins are generated when we burn substances that contain carbon and chlorine, and they're part of this overall umbrella of chemicals known as persistent organic pollutants. And the reason is that they accumulate and last in the environment and our bodies when we're exposed to them. And the problem is that when we're exposed to them, they can lead to all kinds of different health issues like immune function issues, liver dysfunction, and certain kinds of cancer.
So the waste-to-energy plant is operated by Metro Vancouver, and its General Manager of Solid Waste Services, Paul Henderson, is here now. And we appreciate your time, Paul. Thanks for coming in. So Metro Vancouver is in the midst, I understand, of planning its next regional waste management plan. And we heard from Kate, BC, suggesting waste burning is costly not only to Metro Vancouver's budget, but also people's health. How do you respond to what you heard from Dr. Lim?
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having me on the show. And I just want to give you a little bit of background about what Metro Vancouver does. So Metro Vancouver is responsible for waste reduction and recycling planning. And as you know, we're working on a new solid waste management plan. And our real priority, which aligns with the work at CAPE and Zero Waste BC, is around waste reduction and recycling. Saying that, there's still a lot of garbage that needs to be disposed of, even though we have a 65% recycling rate, which is more than twice the Canadian average and North American leading. Part of the system that manages that residual garbage is Metro Vancouver's waste-to-energy facility that's located in Burnaby. That facility has been operating since 1988, and it's a safe and cost-effective way to manage residual garbage. And we speak to emissions, so specifically dioxin emissions. So the facility is regulated under a provincial operational certificate that sets limits for a whole range of parameters, including dioxins and furans. And the data from our monitoring program, it's available on the Metro Vancouver website, reported to multiple agencies, looking specifically at dioxins and furans. The levels that we monitor at that facility are dramatically below those regulatory limits, and in fact, typically not detectable. So the suggestion that the waste-to-energy facility is creating health impacts it's a dated perception with respect to waste-to-energy facilities. Facilities that are designed and operated today do not create a health risk to the public or people working in the vicinity of any waste-to-energy facility, particularly ours.
Yeah, but just to clarify, or how would you respond to a medical doctor saying that this facility ought to be transitioned out simply because, and I asked her about proximity, that it was still a concern, particularly because of those dioxins?
Yeah, and I think you quoted in a reference, a Health Canada reference with respect to the sources of dioxins and furans. And unfortunately, some of the information that's available, including that reference, are dated incorrect. Historically, there were problems with waste-to-energy facilities around emissions related to dioxins and furans. But today, waste-to-energy facilities, the way they're designed and operated, are specifically designed in order to prevent dioxins and furans entering the environment. And that's typical. Our facility is typical of the facilities around the world.
And as you move on the next phases of the waste management plan, what is the future of the waste-to-energy facility? Do you see it being phased out?
The waste-to-energy facility I mentioned, it's a cost-effective, so compared to other options we have for disposing of waste, there's a local landfill that it's about the same cost as the waste-to-energy facility. The alternative is shipping garbage to faraway landfills, and that's about twice as expensive as operating the waste-to-energy facility. And given it's a safe, cost-effective facility, we have no plans to shut that facility down. Our real priority with respect to a new solid waste management plan is reducing waste. That's our key priority.
And also, just to clarify, how much power does it actually create, this waste-to-energy facility?
Yeah, the waste-to-energy facility, the primary goal, the primary reason to have the waste-to-energy facility is to manage garbage. But in addition, it generates electricity, and it generates enough electricity for about 16,000 homes. And we're currently working on a number of projects that are they're called district energy projects, which will allow it to create enough energy to power 50,000 homes. So in addition to the 16,000 homes that are currently powered. So it's a
Yeah, and when is the timeline for that to be able to ramp up to 50,000 or 60,000 homes?
Yeah, well, currently it's 16,000 homes generating electricity for 16,000 homes. The ramp up to the additional 50,000 homes is over a number of years, basically as the system is built out in the community around the waste-to-energy facility.
Okay, Paul Henderson from Metro Vancouver. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.